Okay, everyone. All you're gonna have is my screen up, but my name is Megan Wheeler. I'm a student in cohort 4, so this is the very beginning of my second year with the online program. Once again, I'd just like to repeat, I'm a student. This is nothing done officially through Rutgers. I can just tell that there's a lot of issues with some of you newbies getting used to everything. So what we're going to do is just do a brief run through of the website, and then we'll go into how I organize things because a few people asked for that. Okay. Alright, so login screen, no problem. I have everything set to save, so it goes right through. And then we'll just wait for my internet to be slow. Perfect. Okay. So what comes up on here is I think all of you have the Online Student Resource Center, the Student Orientation Tutorial, and the Libraries Introduction. This library introduction will be really good for when you start doing research papers and need to find articles. My undergraduate school had a really big database, so I was very familiar with this, but if you are an older student, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but before computers were really used, this will be really helpful, and it's pretty easy to navigate the website. Okay, so what'll happen as you go down is also you'll have your licensing review down here, but that you guys won't have to worry about for a few years. Okay, so it'll list all the classes you had. So I have, where are we? We had fall 2014, spring 2015, my summer field orientation, which is just, I think that was a week-long thing. Then we had my summer classes, and now we're in fall 2015. Okay, so what happens is whatever class you want to go to, you click. Oh, side note, I found that Chrome works best for this website. I know specifically on my iPad, Safari doesn't work. I know on my computer, Firefox was giving me trouble, and no one really likes Internet Explorer. I know that the orientation was on Class Live. So far, none of my professors have used that, but only Class Live worked on Internet Explorer for me. Okay. So just a heads up, like if you're having issues with it shutting down or anything, Chrome might be a good download for you. Excuse me. Okay, so here we are, the home page. You'll have your class list here. All these things up top we'll go through, and then all on the side we'll go to. We'll start with the announcements. So teachers can send out announcements, and usually they'll be in email form. Almost every email you get will be an announcement in my experience. What's great about it is you can, I wish I had one up here, you can read it and mark it as unread so it stays in the unread. You also can keep your read announcements, which we don't have any, and it will tell you anything that you need to find out. Like I said, most of this comes in email, so if you accidentally delete an email, come in here, they don't get deleted. Okay. Here, these upcoming 7 days, this is really nice, especially when you have big projects due, or there's a lot of assignments due in 1 week. This is really nice to look at and just kind of ground yourself with. Okay. Alright, so the syllabus is over here. Every syllabus is going to be pretty different, but they're all set up the same. It's going to tell you who the professor is, the course catalog stuff, the overview, and how this falls into the core competencies. Okay. While this is important, if you're looking strictly for what you have to do and what has to get done, I've just kind of stopped looking at that because the competencies have been kind of ingrained in my brain. Okay. So the required text, which we should have all gotten emails about for your class. This is going to be different because I'm in cohort 4. Please be reminded. Okay. My professor here has all of the big assignments right here, all laid out for us and what weeks they are due. Okay. Go down. Gives us our grading percentage, nice and easy. You can also look at grading percentage when you get to gradebook. We'll actually click there really quick. Okay, and we'll go through how to drop these in. Tells you how much each assignment is worth per percentage. It'll keep updated up top, so everything says not yet to be graded. Once we get through everything, it'll have what out of 95% I have, what I've handed in so far. Okay, and it gives you everything at the end. So let's go back to the syllabus. Okay, and we were at grading. Okay, so that's there. Tell you the integrity policy. Most of the syllabuses have the same thing. Disability. Okay, this professor goes through week by week what we're going to have to do. She doesn't have the days listed here, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we have what I have to read, what assignments do. I have to do a self-assessment. Okay, no problem. And it goes through that through all the weeks. So each module, for probably most of your classes, if not all, is a week. So module 1 is week 1. Module 2 is week 2. The only time that starts to get mixed up is when we'll use like spring break, for example. During spring semester, you do technically get a week off, and that kind of plays into it. But there should be a calendar somewhere. I didn't look through this beforehand because I was trying to download all the software for this. But okay, so this one ends at module 14. Course calendar, that could be where the calendar is. Sometimes this is just a school calendar. It's not a big deal. You can also find the school calendar on the website if you just go to Rutgers .edu. Okay, perfect. This is here. So it tells me what days are for module 1. It tells me what I have due and when it's due. This professor has very kindly told me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Most professors will put day 1 through day 7. And just a reminder, day 1 is a Tuesday. Okay, it says it up top and right here. I'm pointing to the screen, it's not moving. And day 7 is a Monday. Okay, this is really hard to get used to at first. I was able to do my field work where Tuesday was my starting day, so it made things a little bit easier for me. Okay, but so we go through and it lists everything I have to have due, gives us the weight grade. Not all professors will do that, that's fine. And I'll go on through. I'm trying to see if we have a break anywhere. I don't think we do. 17 to 23. Module 13. Okay, so this is going to be that week, the 24th through the 1st. There's nothing due. There's no weight in this. So this is just something to keep us going with that week off for, I'm assuming, Thanksgiving. Okay, so that's what I mean, where we're still going right back down. She's cutting right through 12, 13, 14. Some professors will take a break where this would be 12, and then this will be 13, and it would be over. Okay. A good way to organize yourself is you can print out this page. All of this beautiful information you can print out. I am awful at keeping papers in order. Doesn't matter if I have a folder or a binder. So I have really good planners. I personally have bought my past 2 planners, I'm eating, at Target. And I've really enjoyed the way that they're set up with allowing me to write in my assignments. Okay. So what I would do here, because you guys are asking, is I would try and write in all of this and when it's due for all of these weeks. I'll probably do that. I've been very busy this week. I'll probably do that this weekend, and then that way it's all in there. With big assignments, like, let's see if there's a good one. Like the final project, for example, I haven't really looked at a lot of, I'm sorry, this truck's outside. I haven't looked at a lot of this yet, but if there's, last semester we had a research paper. If I have something for the research paper due on October 29th, 2 weeks before that, so sometime in early October, I would leave a note in my planner that says start, assignment 1 for final project, and then I'd go look at it so I have it in the back of my mind. That's a good way that I keep myself organized. If you're not a planner person and you're not a paper person and you keep your calendar on your iPad or your computer, what you can do is set an alarm so that 2 weeks before, at some time you're normally home on those days, have the alarm go off that tells you should start looking at this information, so that way you can remember. Sorry, I have to get some food in. Okay. So, what's this? So, this is the textbook we need. There are a few classes where it's an e-textbook that they give you access to. This will be the link for that. The course tools. This is a really good place to go if you have issues. I know VoiceThread has been an issue this week. It's finally figured out. VoiceThread is not as difficult as it seems. You just gotta make sure you share it with your class. That's about it. Everything else is very simple, and we'll go through. Student Lounge is where a lot of the classes do their student introductions. All you would click is respond. You'd write in a subject. You'd write out your posts. You can add in whatever you want, and then you click post response. Okay, and then we don't have anything in here, but there would be a response. You could click it and say respond to that response, and so on and so forth. The library information is there. I'm not going to go through Scribe because I'm not really sure what that is. These are all instructions for my projects. Okay, Pearson Writer, only certain classes I think require it, so I'm not going to click that either. Unless we have tutoring, using Turnitin. Okay. I think all of, let me make a note for that. So we'll go back to that when we start submitting, but Turnitin is kind of built in when you go to Dropbox, okay? VoiceThread tool, which is much simple, and if people want, I'll gladly do another video on that, but right now I just want to get through everyone doing this, okay? So you click your module 1, and it'll give you a nice little brief overview typically of the module, your learning objectives, and then this is the activity table. So each module has that nice big calendar that was in the course calendar, all separated into just what's due for that week, okay? And here it just says day 1. Remember, that's a Tuesday. So day 3, so today is Thursday, so my VoiceThread for my student introductions is due today, okay? Then I have to respond to someone's by day 5. Okay, you can respond earlier, that's no problem. And then everything else is due day 7, the consultant's corner, which is my job, okay? So we have the reading and resources, just click that. So I have to read these. Okay, so let's go to course reserves so you guys can find it. What's really important to know with course reserves is that the online classes, in my past year experience, is that some of them are based off of an in-person class actually at Rutgers in the building. So what class is this? This is Zerlo. Okay, so sometimes the professor that you have, their last name won't come up. So let's see if hers works. Okay, so Karen Zerlo has one. Most times your professors will tell you, you know, you just look up their last name, but they'll say, hey, you have to look up under Davis or Brown. And just make sure if you type in your professor's last name and it's not coming up, just shoot them an email. Or go into, did we do that? Virtual office, I forgot to go into, we'll go back to that. Okay, you can put it in the virtual office. So, here, we are in all of Karen Zerlo's classes. So I need to have Netting and Kettner and McCurdy, chapter 1. Okay. So netting, this is chapter 9. So these go alphabetical order. So instead of doing by author, let's look. Okay, so social work, macro practice, and introduction to macro practice and social work. Okay. So you scroll down, netting, all, chapter 1, you click. I personally get the articles on my iPad, and I download them to there. Okay, ooh, they've updated this. This is nice. Okay, so we're here. Online access. You click this link. It'll bring you have to log in again. Once again, I saved my password for this. I changed my password halfway through. And just haven't saved it for here. Log in. And it brings up the article. So I save this on my iPad because on my iPad what will happen is this top bar up here will disappear and a little button comes down and says open with, and I open in an application called Notability, where I'm able to circle and highlight and kind of write on it as I go, and it's much easier for me. These are able to be downloaded to Kindles, so you can download them, I'm pretty sure, to any tablet as long as the internet, the application used for the internet works. Okay, so I'm going to X that out, and you'll find all of them in here. Okay, so we'll X that out. Let's go back to Virtual Office. Virtual Office is, you can see there's 10,000 things about this VoiceThread because it wasn't working. If you have a question about an assignment or something with the class that you think other students might benefit from also knowing the answer to, you should put the answer in. You should put the question in virtual office. The teachers check this usually every 24 to 48 hours. And all of my teachers have been really great about answering them. If you have a question specifically related to you, I would say maybe email that professor. But, I mean, there are times I've done both. No one's ever yelled at me just yet, so I'll take that. Okay. So let's go back down. Here. We went through our readings. Lecture this is a podcast, so it'll come up. It's in the same screen. Yesterday it was in a different screen. Comes up. You can also access the transcript. So let's say, I don't know, you forgot for headphones and you don't really have time to sit and listen to this. You can download the transcript in a PDF file. Open up, and I'll tell you word for word exactly what I said. I know a lot of people are visual learners visual learners with reading rather than listening. So do that if you need to, okay? So go here. Student introductions. Voice thread, no problem. Assignment 1. Needs to go in the Dropbox. We'll touch that next. Self-assessment. They're all set up like this. You fill out your name, you put everything in, submit, and it's done. I just want to take a look at Module 2 to see for discussions. Or does she not have discussions? Okay, never mind. There's no discussions here. We'll go back to that. Discussions are set up. It's like how the virtual office and student lounge are. Your discussion questions will be listed up top, up here, okay, in this general area. You respond. That'll be your response if you'd like to respond to someone else. So let's say, see, I responded here. I want to respond back to myself. Okay, I click that, and then I click respond here. Okay. So let's look at. I think notifications is just what comes up on the home page. I've never clicked this. Okay, so this notifications. I don't think any of our teachers have used this so far, so don't worry about it. Gradebook I showed you. Email. This is really nice. I do suggest that if you work in a group project with someone, or maybe you just really like someone's responses and you want to reach out to them, go ahead and get their personal email. But this is great because what you can do is you can email everyone in the class. You can email the professor if your email address doesn't save, or you're not sure how to contact someone and you have a question for them. They're all in here. Okay, all 15 of us are in there. Okay, and it's basically this. You'll receive a copy of the email in your actual email address. Put your subject line in. You can add attachments, put this in, and then send. Okay, very simple. The share aspect I don't think we've used. Oh, it's loading. I thought it was done. I'm not even sure what this is. Okay, no one shared anything. Dropbox. This is where all of your discussions will go in a discussion post. All of your assignments, so assignment 1, assignment 2, your research paper, okay, will be submitted here. So this inbox right here is what you are sending to your teacher. So what you're sending to the professor. Okay. The outbox is what they've graded or are sending back to you. Now what would happen is, let's say I did something incorrect and my teacher is being gracious enough to let me fix it. The assignment would pop up here. The name, the attachment would show up here. Date and time they returned it. Over here would be a, what looks like a piece of paper, a little link. And what that means is that there's a note on it. Okay, it means that there's something I should read. So I'll click that and it'll come up in a different screen. And it would say, okay, Megan, great job, talking about social policy and the negative connotations associated with it. You didn't do citations correctly. I will give you 24 hours to fix them and you can resubmit, okay? Now, how submission works is, and you can also leave a note for your teacher. If I hand something in late and the teacher's aware of it, I always leave a little thank you note saying, thank you for letting me hand this in late. Or asking a question if I'm resubmitting something, especially if they're not responding with email or the virtual office. Okay. I have 5 assignments. It's beautiful. So I wanted to do assignment 1. I dropped this in. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I drop this in. I attach the file. I can show you how I have my computer set up. Just come to here. You choose file. This is my volleyball stuff. So I have my own Rutgers folder. Okay. And I have, some of this should be put in there. But I have files for each class. Makes it very easy. These will all probably go in year 1, so that way I'm not confusing it. And then I'll have my other files that I just haven't made. Open diversity and oppression, for example. I made files from module 1 all the way through 15. Anything just didn't get filed. Our literature review. Okay. I tried saving discussions. I had some issues with responses, but that's what worked. So you'd click your file. You'd attach file. You know, it's Friday. Have a good weekend. Whatever it is. And you submit. Okay. The screen here, attach file, make sure it disappears first. Okay. If something's weird is happening, go back and make sure it's submitted. How can I do that? You click Dropbox, and then it'll tell you if it's in your inbox. Oh, I'm sorry, your outbox. I had that backwards. It'll tell you if it's in your outbox. You'll know what you submitted, don't worry. You can also check by going to your gradebook, where all of these say not yet submitted. With the exception of this, I'm not really sure why that's there. It will say not yet graded instead. And that's a really good way to look at. I check that all the time to make sure. Okay, so Dropbox. Journal we didn't have to use. Very easy. Add entry, no problem. Bibliography, I don't believe we had to use yet. Tutor, I think this is a new one. Tech support, I'll leave you there and help. Okay. Very easy. Very simple. Don't panic. Okay. Some classes, so ours end in module 14. Sometimes they try and update classes and all the data doesn't get deleted. Wherever your class calendar says it ends, it ends. There might be stuff underneath here, don't worry about it, okay? That's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We go back to course home. Okay, and this reminds you what class you're in, because I know we're swapping back and forth. This, I forgot to mention, is anything that is posted on the website, with the exception of people's personal graded materials. So all of these posts are what has been said in the virtual office from my professor about the voice thread issue. Okay, that's it. So if, let's say, my teacher posted something and I couldn't find it, I can click preview post, and I can click that, and it'll bring me to the discussion so I can be a little bit more informed. Okay, so then there's these buttons down here. I don't really know what the rest of them do. I can't even lie. Okay, so this one hides this. I don't like that at all. I panic. Don't like it. This one will log you out. And this one brings you to user settings. That's it. All nice and done. Okay. Now this will bring you out to your classes, all of your classes. And here we are back. Okay. Go back in. I can show you the discussion here. Same setup. There are my classmates responding to all of this wonderful stuff. There's me, my beautiful post. So great. Let's see if anyone posted on my post. Let's see. So what I do to check to make sure I did everything is I just look for my name. Okay. So I have my initial post, and I commented on someone's post. They haven't responded to either. Okay, fantastic. But if I wanted to respond to Jessica's, I'd read hers. Fantastic. Respond. Typically I write like great post, really liked this, here's what we do. Okay. I'm happy to do another video. If you guys need help with anything, I will gladly do my voice thread on this video, so that way you guys have a little bit more understanding. But if there's anything you're confused about, I'm more than happy to help, so just let me know, and hopefully this will work through. Okay, good luck in this semester, and it's Thursday, it's my Friday, so everyone have a good weekend. Okay.